Sweet. I'm just gonna say check, check, 1, 2. Do you mind saying check, check, 1, 2?
Check, check, 1, 2.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Well, you want to open it up, Mats?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Bro What Now podcast. This is me, Matthias Lau. This is my brother.
Nika Alau, and he's eating some nuts right now. So you guys hear that in the background. That is what that is. Today's really exciting. I have a childhood friend, somebody I went through my whole entire life with. His name is Bible Semedical. On the podcast here, we went through high school together, elementary together. We met each other when we were like 6, 7 years old. So this is going to be a really, really fun one. Babes, you want to say hi?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
So, my name is Bible. You can call me B. As Mikael said, we met each other in like second grade, and we grew up together. And so like right now I'm in university still, studying to become a mechanical engineer or just to get a degree. But then I don't know what I'm going to do after that in Bangkok, Thailand.
Yeah. So that's so cool. He's basically one of my best Thai native friends who we've known like forever. So it's been really fun. He's literally saved our lives so many times in Thailand because although we lived there for so long, none of us really bothered learning the language too well. And we've had our faithful bibs being with us, helping us translate and make sure we get everything that we need to get. But I was thinking before we dive into that Bible, I just want to ask like, how's it going with like the Corona stuff and COVID? And because I feel like it's different for every country and every place that we're in.
Yeah, so in Thailand, I think everybody's taking it really seriously. Like malls are sort of closed. I hear like the basement's still open for like restaurants to do like pickups for like Grab Food or Food Panda, something like that.
Right.
And then if you go outside, everybody's wearing masks. And it's just everything's online now for like university and stuff like that. And they're doing like bans on household items or items that aren't food to like discourage people from going out.
Okay. Yeah.
Entertainment places are still closed, and they also did an alcohol ban for like reasons I'm not so sure, but they also I guess discourage people from like binge drinking.
Right.
But yeah, like things are definitely not normal, and people are really health conscious here. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah. Has there been any have you seen or been a part of any like crazy incidents with it, or has it been pretty chill for you?
I have not gone outside. It's not like I take the quarantine seriously, but it's just all my friends who were in university weren't originally from the area, so they all went home. And
I see.
Like I didn't go home to Chiang Mai. So like I'm here, but I don't have anybody to like hang out with. So there's like no reason for me to go outside do anything.
Right.
I've never really seen the usually crowded places or how they are now.
Yeah, that's intense though, kind of being all alone there. And I saw your house was like burning down, almost.
Yeah. So during the quarantine, there's like this huge grass field or like this plot of land like right next to my condo, and it's like really overgrown with really tall grass. And so I guess the landowners decided that they wanted to get rid of that by burning it, and they couldn't contain the fire because it's grass and it's really tall, and so it spread, and they had to call the fire department, and it's right outside my bedroom. But luckily I was on the 7th floor. It was downwind. I just got to sit and watch them.
Right. That's so intense though. I saw it was like right outside your window when I was looking at it was so close.
Yeah.
That's intense. Well, I was thinking it'd be really fun to just hear because I feel like we grew up, and you were one of our only Thai, fully Thai native speakers who was with us. What was that kind of like for you, being with a bunch of foreigners? You went to an international school. A lot of the people weren't even from there, but you were fully Thai, but kind of immersed in this Western culture. How was that kind of for you? It's kind of a broad question, but what is that kind of? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, at times it can be really, really challenging. But then it can also be rewarding because I feel it helped me develop in ways. But I got to experience you guys from all these different cultures and stuff like that. But when the culture is your own and you kind of lose your identity. I felt like I lost my identity as a Thai person in a way because I was so immersed in the international culture and stuff like that. But
right, yeah, that's interesting.
Also, other times when it was hard was because when you don't feel like you belong in your own culture, it's difficult to like find somebody to like talk to, or like to find somebody who knows what that feels like, because it's a pretty rare, group of people, or like
Totally.
who have experienced similar things,
Right. Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people move from their home countries to Thailand or to other parts of the world. But then you being going to like an international school, being kind of engulfed in this international community, you were kind of just like one of us in a sense, even though you were in your home country. Do you think that's something like a lot of other Thai kids growing up experience, especially if they're immersed in like an international community like that?
I think so, because I've talked to other people who went to school, went to Grace with me, who are Thai,
Yeah, yeah,
and we shared some like similar experiences when we go outside, like to like a Thai university or something like that. There's definitely some culture shock there,
right, right.
and
I think that's something many people like disregard is that you can have culture shock in your own country.
yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely can.
yeah, for sure. I even imagine that like my brother can probably even talk a little bit about it. It's funny because like it wouldn't be the same as for you, but like we're Norwegian Filipino, but we still get culture shock going back to our own countries that we're like from, just
Hmm.
because we've been immersed in such a different kind of culture, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
something people always disregard is that you can always have culture shock even in the countries that you're from or the places you belong to.
yeah,
That's so fascinating, yeah. But I remember there was this one time we were we were at like this market in the night bazaar, in Thailand,
yeah,
and we were shopping looking for stuff. And I remember there was one time we were trying to find out what's like the local price.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
remember this? And
yeah,
then we were like looking at the watches.
yeah.
We were like, Bibs, Bibs, go go up there and then ask like in English, asking Thai. Was that like actually like kind of awkward for you, or was that
Oh,
how was that?
it depends on the situation, but like most of the time it's really awkward for me to be hanging out in a group with a group of foreigners. So like Thai people automatically assume that I'm not Thai. And so
Right.
like, when you guys ask me to translate or something like that, I feel like you guys are like my camouflage, I like, not standing out, as like a Thai person or something like that. Um, but it's fun sometimes to mess with people. So like you can go to barter with them. So like I would go up and ask like, hey man, how much is this watch? And then he'll name like an outrageous price, like 4 or 5 thousand, something like that. And then
Yeah.
I'm kind of be like, come on man, how much? He's like, all right, I'll cut you a deal like 3,500. And then
Yeah. Right.
something
It's
like
so
that.
funny, dude. It's hilarious how that works. I think that's like one of the pros of like having someone who speaks the language. Like even because even when like we have friends coming from Norway or other places, when we go to like the markets, we always kind of have to try to do the talking, but we
Yeah,
still don't even get it as cheap like as if you were the one doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. Dang, that's intense. And it was fun though. Do you have any other memories from like something like that, or like we're translating or something has been like?
I remember the senior trip where I had to translate with our boat captain,
Oh yeah, yeah,
our boat
yeah.
captain. Yeah.
And like getting him to take us places.
Yeah, so like that kind of thing was when I was trying to, get more comfortable with the fact that like I should just get out of my shell, get more comfortable using my own language or whatever.
Right.
So, I just sort of like sucked it up because, if I didn't do that, everybody else was relying on me. Um, but that's like situations where like we're just trying to have fun. Other
Yeah.
situations like in sports leadership, where like I was the only, everybody relied on me to not only
Mm,
be like the sort of like pseudo leader, because
yeah.
Bailey was sort of the leader, but I had to like translate everything for everybody for every group as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything relied on me, and that was much more responsibility than I like would have liked. But I'm glad
Right.
I did it.
Right. Just for everybody listening, sports leadership trips were like these trips we'd do in high school where we'd go to like these different villages and we'd set up like sports days for all the people living there. And of course, none of us again spoke the language. And I think a lot, we always just throw it on the local people to like translate. But I can even like resonate. Like I'm here in Norway and people kind of expect me just to translate from English to Norwegian. And
Mhm.
it's actually a lot harder than you would think. But I think growing up, that's something we didn't recognize or realize in terms of like the Thai speakers of like, oh, it's actually a lot harder to translate than you would expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you feel like it's like benefited you in any way though? Like being
Oh,
challenged that way?
oh yeah, definitely. Because you know, there was no other choice. Like it was me. It had to be me. because I was the only Thai speaker, and
Right.
like I either stepped up or our trip would fail kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it was a good experience.
So, like shifting gears a little bit, like what would you say was like one of your favorite memories from kind of growing up in Thailand? All of that.
Definitely when we our senior trip. I brought it
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
So
That
like
was a fun time.
the senior trip was where we had to go. We went to like talk to a boat captain who would take us on tour, to different islands and stuff like that. And I had to translate everything, And when you guys wanted to do stupid stuff like, hey, for the video, let's
Yeah.
let's get us like jumping off the boat or something like that, jumping off the back of the boat and like, stuff like that. Like I would have to explain to the captain like, hey, afterwards, after the tour is over, can you just like do like a quick loop around just around here? We just want some footage for a video, and he's like, what are you talking about, man? I just be like, video. I was like, he's like, okay, what do you want to do? I was like, we want to jump off the back of the boat. I'm like, you want to jump off the back of the boat right where the propellers are? I'm like, no. You'll be going, so like they'll be jumping backwards.
It's so funny because I remember that we're like they're like, Bible, tell them that we want like. I mean, it's such a stupid idea, but we're like, tell them that we want to like jump off the boat as the boat is moving with the propeller spinning.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I didn't think that you had to explain to the guy how this was gonna work.
Yeah.
We were expecting to pick it up, but that was honestly, it's funny because so much happened that week. But I remember that for some reason so vividly, just like that boat trip and then going around, jumping off the cliffs and then jumping off the back of the boat. It was just such a fun experience.
Dude, jumping off the cliff was definitely one of like the times you guys challenged like my comfort zone. Challenged me to get out of it.
Yeah.
That
huge one. Yeah,
the huge
really
one. Like I'm scared, man. I was scared of heights. Like, and I said to myself in my head, like, if they do it, I have to do it. There's no way I'm backing out.
Yeah, because everybody, basically, we're on this cliff, and there's only one way down, or else you have to walk all the way back the other way, right?
Yeah. Oh, the funny thing was, I asked the boat captain, I asked him, like, hey, has anybody ever, like, can you jump off this? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. So, like, okay, let's go. And then when we got up there, it was really, really high.
Yeah, it was so high.
And so, like,
it was like a 20-meter jump.
Yeah, I told the boat captain, hey, we're going to jump off this. Can you swing around where the cliff edge is and pick us up? And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So, like, there's other people in our tour group as well. So, like, families and other tourists. And so they're all waiting on the boat for us to jump off. And then they're all like, wondering what's going on. And some of them were taking videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then one of our friends decided like that they had cold feet and they weren't jumping off.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, we were screaming at them like, there are people down like waiting for us to get on the tour. And then I remember specifically telling that person like before going up the cliff's face, like, are you sure if you get up there you have to jump? There is no backing out. And they're like, yeah, sure.
I remember that. Yeah, cliff jumping is, for some reason, it's such a big part of like both me and my brother's lives. I don't know, Mont, if you have any like cliff jumping stories. Did you do cliff jumping during your senior trip?
No.
But off the boats? You did it off the boats?
We didn't. No, our senior trip was a lot different than your guys'. We got, how long was your guys' senior trip?
I don't know. I don't remember. Like a week?
Like a week?
5 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 5 days.
See, ours was only 3 days.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, and we flew. So it wasn't like we didn't get like the whole like bus experience.
Yeah,
I mean,
why?
Yeah, and then like we didn't have the double-decker boat when we were going.
Oh, really? We had the double. Did you do the squid fishing?
No, we were actually gonna go squid fishing the last night, but then a huge storm kicked in, and they're like, "Nope, it's canceled." And a lot of stuff went wrong. Our senior trip was really good. It's probably one of my best memories, but it wasn't like we didn't get to do a lot of stuff that you guys did, which is a bummer. But it was just fun being with the class either way.
That's still good, man.
Yeah. Libs, remember going squid fishing and then everybody took like the adrenaline or whatever?
I hate Dramamine to get rid of the boat things.
Did you take one of them?
Let me tell you a little story. I don't ever get boat sick. Like,
really?
Ever.
Yeah.
I was so confident about this squid fishing trip. I was like, yeah, let's go squid fishing. I'm going to catch like 20 squids. No problem. We got on the boat. I had to wake up at like 5 a.m., right?
No, it was like late at night, so we had to leave at like 11 at night or something.
And we woke like I remember it's like at night. It was like pitch
Yeah,
black, and then
yeah,
we got on the boat. Right when I got on the boat, I'm like, I don't feel well, man. I was there for like 3 hours, and so
yeah,
I instantly got like seasick. I think it's because like it was dark and I couldn't see the waves or whatever, and
right.
it was the most miserable time ever because I was seasick and I didn't want to take the Dramamine because like it would make you tired and sleepy, and I actually
Yeah,
wanted to experience the trip.
totally.
So I remember just like laying there, like in the fetal position, like on one of like the the beds that
Yeah.
we had, and just like try not to throw up, try not to throw up.
Dude, I remember, dude, everybody took the medicines or was like getting so sick.
Yeah,
And then we caught literally no squid that night, but they caught like one, and then we like ripped it apart and like started getting like
Ink.
the ink all over us and everything.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
saw the video.
yeah, that was a fun time. But when we were talking about the cliff jumping, remember the first time you did
Gainer.
you did the gainer?
Oh yeah. So the story with that is that Amos was actually the first one who wanted to try a gainer for some reason. I have no idea.
Oh, really?
So we went
Yeah,
just me, Amos, and Joe Kwan and Joel Bay, I think, is Amos's brother. So we went there and then like I don't think Joe was there actually. I think it was just Amos, me and Amos and somebody else. So he was like, let's try a gainer. And then Amos does it and he bails out.
yeah,
He bails out. He just jumps normally. And then I thought that, okay, I'm gonna fully commit to this. And so like I tried it and then I backflopped and
yeah.
it
I remember the video. That was intense.
the worst thing was that they got video footage of it. So the first time I ever tried a gainer, they have video of me failing miserably.
Didn't someone post it too, like on Facebook or
Yeah,
something?
Joel Bay. I think Joel was there. So Amos's brother
Yeah,
posted it. I'm like, dude, come on, man. What are you doing?
I
You
remember
gotta do
that.
me like that. So then Joe Kwan, another friend, he posts his gainer and he does it. And I'm like, it haunted me. I'm like,
Yeah,
why? I got like, shamed. And so the next
yeah,
time we went to the quarry, which is like months later, Mikio came back from Norway,
yeah.
and like he comes back, and then he's like, I'll do like I don't know if you challenged me or I challenged you. You were like,
You challenged me. You were like, Meek, if you do a backflip right now, I'll do a gainer off this
oh no,
cliff.
I remember. I saw your video that you showed me of you doing backflips, and I was really jealous because like
Yeah,
in my mind I thought a backflip was scarier than a gainer.
yeah,
I said, Mika, if you do a
It is.
backflip right now, I'll try a gainer again. And then like in my head, I didn't think that you were gonna like do it, and then you did the backflip, and I was like, crap, now I gotta do it.
yeah,
So something clicked in my head. I just like 3, 2, 1, go, and then I fully committed again. But then I did something correct, obviously, because like I successfully did a gainer.
yeah. I remember that. I remember you were like, Meek, if you, I didn't believe you were gonna do it because I remember seeing the video. I was like, there's no way he's gonna do it. But I was like, all right. So I did the backflip. It's pretty high. It's like a 7, 8 meter cliff, maybe.
Decently high.
It's a pretty, yeah, like a 7 meter cliff. I remember, all right, I'll do it. So I did the backflip. I remember I landed. I swam like away, and I remember just seeing you chuck a gainer.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no way did he just do that. 'Cause I remember watching the video on Facebook of you just failing so hard.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So I remember I was like, there's no way I'm letting Bible do this and not me do it. So I ran back up there and then you just gave me so much courage to do it. Like,
I was there.
yeah, and my brother was there too actually. Gave me so much boldness to do it, so I did it. And then did you do it right after?
Yeah.
And then my brother did it. So you started
Yeah.
all the gainers we were all able to do, you started.
Then we all did a gainer that day. Like
Yeah. Oh
that
man,
was
that was
it.
good.
That
That
was
was really good.
Pretty proud moment in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's funny because I feel like sometimes like small moments in our lives like impact us a lot. Do you
Yeah.
feel like that moment kind of impacted you in a way?
It did because like all the times that like I'm an introvert, so like hanging out with you guys, all a bunch of extroverts and stuff like that, it really like pushed me to like, get out of my comfort zone. And that was like the time that I really, really pushed myself out of my comfort zone. And growing up, I think I realized that, it's good to be outside of your comfort zone because like that's where you learn and grow. And so it really shaped me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you find yourself stepping out of that comfort zone a lot more now?
I try to like what I do is I learned it from what it's like from different methods of like thought, but uh, I watched Steve-O, you know, the
Yeah,
mangaka.
yeah.
So like he talked about how whenever he would do his stunts or anything that he would do, he would just count 1, 2, 3, and then he would always commit.
Yeah.
And then another YouTuber I watched was Steve Will Do It, which is like the guy's hilarious,
Mm-hmm.
and he uses the phrase like full send like all the time. So like
Yeah.
I came up in my head like I was like, okay, so the full send method, where like if I want to do something and I ask myself that question, if it's a yes, maybe, or a no, if it's a maybe, then just bump it up to a yes and just do it, just commit.
Yeah. I love that because
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes like we use the word maybe as an excuse for not doing something.
yeah,
But I love that you have that mentality. Like if there's a maybe, if I say maybe, it's supposed to mean a yes. If that makes sense. So basically, like the odds of you saying yes is going to be 2 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3
yep,
mathematically. I
yeah.
love that because I feel like sometimes people use kind of the maybe excuse. It's like, okay, maybe I'll do it, when it's just easier to commit there and then to like yes or no. That's really cool. I like that. That's fascinating.
So like there's so many times like I think even Moss talked about it like where you know when you talked about the Songkran days where you didn't want to go out because you were tired and then you
Yeah,
got so much more out of like you know just saying like I'll just go out and do it even though I'm tired or whatever, just go out and have
yeah.
fun.
There's something about that, huh?
Yeah, so I think there are
Yeah,
times, there's so many more times in life where when you say maybe and like the maybe becomes a yes, you actually get so much more out of the experience, you know.
totally. Yeah, yeah. It's wild how much just like a little like let's just do it thing kind of changes everything.
But also, you know, you have to be careful because there are times when let's just do it isn't the best
That's
idea.
true. I've been a victim of that too many times.
Yeah.
That's
But you know what? You learn.
true. That's true.
You live,
Was
you
he
learn.
part of
No.
Smart man.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of nearing the end here, Bibbs, but I don't know if we should just end it off with the Model UN story, or what do you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. So,
Yeah?
we have,
Or should we do the BB gun one? Which one do you think is better? Because we only got time for one.
I think I like the Model UN. I think we should save the BB gun story for if Amos ever gets on the podcast.
Late Amos? All right, and then I'll call you if we do it so we can get
Yeah,
our
that's
side.
more of his story.
All right.
All right, so the Model UN. Our high school has a Model UN where we I think we co-hosted or like we just arrange it with all the international schools from like around Thailand. So like
Yeah.
a bunch of international schools like come together in like this like resort or something like that, and then we host a Model UN.
Which
And
is
I
like a
remember,
model United Nations. So it's like a replica of the United Nations,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
all the teams get assigned like a country to like represent. Sorry, I'm just filling in the blanks real quick.
So like the first time I did it with Amos, we had a lot of fun, but then you guys didn't want to do it because like you know you thought it was like lame or whatever.
Yeah.
So then the second year around, me and Amos and I was thinking I didn't want to do any work this time because last time we actually like you know sat and delegated. It was kind of boring at times, but it was also fun. And so
Yeah.
I thought, okay, let's choose a country where we don't have to do anything at all, like a small country that
Yeah.
has like no power, that like you know can't shift the votes or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So we chose Iceland, you know, which is perfect. You know, like a small population. They don't have any like they don't have a lot of resources, whatever. We just agree with whatever like the big countries decide to do.
Right.
And so we breezed through the Model UN. It was really fun interacting with
It was fun.
other international school kids.
Yeah.
But then there was a party that they set up for us, kind of like was it like a banquet, something like that?
It's like a banquet slash like
Just like party,
party,
yeah.
celebrate like the end of the event.
Yeah, so they had like food and stuff like that. But then their mistake was setting it up near the pool area, right?
Yeah, we love
Okay.
water. We love
Like,
the water.
it was at night, obviously.
Yeah.
Nobody expected to like go swimming, but we saw the pool there and we were like, why don't we go swimming? I
Yeah.
forgot whose idea it was, but you know, once that idea was in our head, we had to go swimming for some reason.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we asked our teacher, and then she was like, "No, obviously, like no."
Yeah.
So we kept on pestering her, and like, I think she went to ask like the head teacher who like ran our like or like was in charge of our school,
Yeah.
our school Model UN section, and then they were like, okay, fine. But what we didn't know was that they wanted us to jump in with our clothes on.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
Yeah, it was something like that.
'Cause-
There was just so much miscommunication.
Yeah.
Like we read hand gestures wrong. We thought like, okay, fine meant like, all right, go for it.
because like she went to talk to the head teacher. She came back, and then when we asked again, she like put out her hands like almost like, here, give me your phones.
Yeah.
So like I thought that okay, that's like the green light. It's a go.
Yeah.
I took my phone, I gave it to her, and then we ran to the bathroom. Started taking our shirts, our jeans, and our like t-shirts off, because like
Yeah.
why would we jump in with our clothes on? We had to go back on the bus.
Yeah.
Like
I
we
remember.
wanted to go on the bus like soaking wet,
Yeah.
and so like we went out in our briefs, our boxers, and then obviously everybody who went to the Model UN was at the pool area.
Yeah.
And they formed like a little like a line for us to like run to the into
Yeah.
the pool, and then there's people like videotaping us jumping into the pool and stuff like that.
And I remember like people started joining us because they thought it was allowed, and they found out later it like wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it was so chaotic. I remember after that it was like the walk of shame, walking like to the bus and then like in and then walking to the back in our wet underwear, like so everyone's like soaking through.
I specifically remember us like after jumping in the pool, we were like having fun for a little bit, and then like our teacher was like, "Get out of the pool like right now!" I'm like, "Why? What's going on?" And then they explained on the bus like something about like us exposing like going shirtless or like going in our briefs or something like that. I'm like, what what's the problem?
Yeah, it was a fun time though. I don't regret it.
Our punishment was pretty boring though.
Wasn't it detention?
We had in-school suspension, man.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
remember that specifically because the teacher who like the person who like was taking care of the detention, kept on checking up on me and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I had my phone with me, so like I finished my homework in like the first 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so like the rest of the day I was just like playing on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were some good times, dude. I wish we could have like talked so much longer, but still kind of long. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a part 2 sometime.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. Our skateboarding days and
oh my goodness, I can't believe you remember that.
Do you remember the stick wars?
Yes, I remember the stick wars.
Yeah, we'll have to do another one sometime. Yeah. Well, Bible, I want to thank you so much for like taking the time. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
And valuable, I think. Mats, anything to say?
No, not much. It's just nice knowing that you're doing good, and it's kind of cool hearing all the stories and from your perspective.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Bible. We'll catch up sometime later.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this little podcast. A little bit different, but I think this is a little bit what it might be looking like forward. My brother and I kind of found out that we'd been doing a lot of the talking for the last like 15 podcasts. So we thought, we know a lot of people. We have a lot of friends who have a lot of amazing stories, like you just heard from Bibbs. So why don't we just like bring them on and kind of create this more of a platform for people to share their stories and share their perspectives and share what they've learned. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and stay tuned for Friday when we release the next one.
Yeah.
Thanks
for listening.
And
Bro, what now is
out in
3, 2, 1. Thank you, Bibbs.
Thank you, Bible.
See you guys.
Watch out.